All right, hello everyone. So a few CIAC announcements prior to Jim's presentation. The first is that we're structuring the championship matches at the end of this season a little bit different than in the past, in that we're moving the Class S finals to Friday, November 17. And the reason for that is we had done 4 matches at East Haven, who does a phenomenal job hosting. However, that 10 o'clock match, no one was really excited about playing in it, and we got really poor crowds for that early match. So we're going to try and move that early match to the Friday night, and so Class S will be Friday night, and the other 3 matches will be on that Saturday. Another change is that the semifinals will be a double headers this year at a neutral site. So all semifinals will be 2-game double headers at a neutral site for all divisions. I want to remind coaches, please read your tournament packet. The tournament packet is online, and most of the questions we get are usually easily answered by reading the tournament packet. So please make sure you go through that. And the biggest change of the year is that our rankings will be done by power rating first. So it'll be power rating divided by the number of games, and then the win percentage would be the third factor. And that whole formula is also explained in the tournament packet. And the reason for that is the committee felt that the teams are being punished by having a stronger schedule. And in last year's tournament, we thought there were some strong matchups that happened early, and some of the better teams got bounced early because they were playing stronger schedules and didn't have a strong win-loss record. And so the volleyball committee, along with some other sports at the CIAC, are going to a power rating system first. We always had the power rankings as part of the tiebreaker, but this year the power rankings will be the first factor in determining your ranking in the divisions. All right, so that's it for CIAC announcements. And at this point, Jim is going to get going on the rule changes.
Okay, welcome everybody. Thanks for participating. As Joe said, it is being recorded and will be posted on the girls volleyball page. Joe, keep an eye on some chat questions that come up, please, for me. Okay, here we go. This is not going to be so painful this year. Okay. Obviously, every year, Sports Imports is a valued partner. Information with regards to me, and you obviously can get Joe at CIAC. "51 state associations." That seems bizarre to me. 51 state associations. There must be 2 or more in one state. But the whole whole country is pretty covered by federation. Rules committee. I don't think we have anyone from New England representing us anymore. We did have someone from Maine, but I believe she bowed out last year or the year before. All the sports that are covered, 17 sports. Big time. Okay, here we go. For the coaches, a new coaching zone has been created for you. Basically, the old zone in blue now extends all the way beyond the service line. Okay, so during live ball, you still are required to stand at least 6 feet off, which is the libero replacement zone during play. But you corner huggers can now take a step back or 2 or 3 or 4. Doesn't matter how long your team benches. Okay. On a dead ball, once the ball is blown dead by whistle, you still have access to the sideline, but not on the court unless you call a timeout. Another rule change. This is a biggie. This is similar to NCAA and USAV for the most part. No small secured studs or posts may be worn above the chin. Okay. Jewelry is still not permitted. It says no jewelry is permitted below the chin, but the old jewelry rule is still in effect with regards to loops, rings, those rubber grommets in nose or ears, etc. Okay, necklaces, loops, long earrings, none of those things are legal.
Yeah, Jim, excuse me for a second. Are you trying to change the slides? Because they're not changing.
They're not changing?
No.
Oh, okay. So you don't see anything?
We see the first slide.
That's it. All right, let me get out of there and see what happens. How about now?
There you go.
You can see that?
Yeah, you're at the court and markings slide here.
Okay, for some reason going to the slideshow, it didn't take. Sorry about that.
Yeah, and also some people are experiencing some poor audio, but I'm not. My audio is pretty clear. All right, Jim, go ahead. Court.
Okay, there's the court markings. Can everybody hear me better? The blue zone is a new coaching zone. It basically extends beyond the service line. You all heard me talk, so I'm not going to say it again. If you have any questions, you can chat it in the chat. Jewelry, can we see that, Joe?
Yep.
Okay. Small secured studs or posts only. No loops, earrings, etc. Can be in the nose. There could be a nose in the stud, a stud in the nose, a stud in a lip, a stud in the tongue. I wouldn't recommend that, but above the chin is in play. No necklaces, etc. Okay. Last year we had a change in here with regards to beads and other things. As long as they are properly secured, no matter how long the hair is, without the hair flying around to injure themselves or someone else, that is still allowed. Again, no necklaces, loops, or large studs, only the small ones. Still no bracelets, string bracelets, okay? No large rubber bracelets, okay? And no rubber grommets, etc. Taping over jewelry is not permitted. So if someone has a small loop earring in their ear and tape it over, a coach may question an official may question you coaches and say, Coach, can you confirm that there is no jewelry beyond the scope of a small stud? Just a uniform thing here. We have not allowed this for a long time, at least from my part. This is my 9th season doing this, and I really enjoy doing this for you people and the sport. 0 is no longer allowed. Okay, it hasn't been allowed from our point as a state, even though it says 2028. So single digits, 1 to 9, solid. Conduct. During dead ball, one assistant coach may stand within the coaching zone to provide instruction during dead ball. Okay. The assistant coach who stands may change throughout the match. Only one can stand at a time. So make sure you remind, if you have more than one coach on staff on the bench, make sure you remind them that they need to choose and they need to discuss prior to each dead ball who's going to stand up and coach on the dead ball. Procedure for substitution. Basically, I think I went over this last year, but they made it official in the scorebook. For timeouts and substitutions, it used to be a signal only. Now it's verbal or signal. And in a noisy gym, coaches, it's best if you do both, signal and verbally get the attention of the R2. Again, legal uniforms starting this year. I would say for the last 5 or 6 years, I have not allowed hollow numbers, and I don't remember very many schools having hollow numbers. I mean, this is a common thing. I don't know why it's taken so long. Solid numbers. When I review jerseys, it's the solid number contrasting the majority of the jersey color. An outline has no bearing on my judgment for contrasting, okay? The outline has no bearing on a judgment for a clearly contrasting solid number. Okay, quick editorial changes. With regards to officials, for religious or whatever ethnic reasons that their customs are, they are allowed to wear appropriate attire, but within the same scope and color of their partners. Editorial changes you can see in your rule book. I'm not going to go into that. Points of emphasis. Privileges, basically touched on a little earlier during the pre-match conference. I've already done 3 of these meetings, 2 earlier this week and 1 last week for all 3 officials boards. So they've seen everything you've seen already. And we will, for at least the first or second week of the season, remind coaches that only one head assistant coach is allowed to stand during a dead ball. Coaching zone privileges. Once the first referee, the head official, the R1, extends the arm to beckon for service, the assistant coach must return to the bench and may not stand again until the next dead ball. The head coach may stand, but please take 2 to 3 steps off the sideline so you're out of this libero replacement zone and not affecting any opportunity for a player to play a ball. I just said that. I should have probably deleted this slide from Federation. There you can see a coach standing behind the service line, even though the bench is short, that's fine. I'm going to go back 1 slide. Let's see. No, I'll keep going. Assistant coach privileges. They may ask an R2 for the following: verifying the number of timeouts used by their team, verify the number of the substitution used by their team, verify the proper server for the opponent. Okay, an official or a coach cannot ask for the lineup of the opponent, only the proper server. Abuse of these privileges can result in a yellow card warning, red card penalty. Okay. We try to do a little bit of preventive officiating. As long as you're respectful, we may give you a quick verbal warning to remind your assistant of their specific privileges before we go to yellow. Joe's already touched on this. There's been a minor change to the warm-up. Basically 23 minutes down to 20, and that was based on more than 2/3 respondents last year in the survey wanted some kind of reduction. So the easiest thing to do is take a baby step and knock 3 minutes off of the first 10. So everything else basically stays the same. So you have a 7-6-6-1 instead of a 10-6-6-1. Okay, so the clocks will be set at 20 minutes now when the officials enter the gym. All the warning whistles and the court changes, those remain the same. Very simple. Once again, this is a common theme, a common slide. All coaches should be using 1 roster lineup sheet that is similar to the Federation lineup sheet. Roster on the left, your 5 matches, even if it's JV, use the same thing. Or you can customize, coaches. You can customize your sheets. You don't have to have the NFHS logo down there. You can have something across the top that says your school name, a logo on the bottom, whatever. Maybe your coach's names, your assistant's name on the bottom, etc. That should be for varsity and JV. Not so much for freshmen and middle school. Once again, coaches, we ask every year that you find time to train your managers or scorekeepers. Make sure that they go to the NFHS webpage under volleyball and click on the video for scorebook, scorekeeper training, and practice using that video. And of course, as always, some of our officials, including myself, will do the best we can to help your scorekeepers learn and do a good job. Building upon the last couple of years, we've all known where sportsmanship has gone to and is trying to come out of to a better place. Playing rules are written to encourage sportsmanship. Participation in these programs should promote respect, integrity, and sportsmanship. However, for these ideals to occur, everyone involved in these programs must do their part. Building upon last year, I know there's been some differences, but for the most part, by mid-season, many of you complied and helped in this area. Okay. We'd like to continue on this. A lot of stuff comes out of club ball that kids get away with on their teams. And we just want to remind you that we are the CIAC and NFHS, and we expect good sporting conduct at all times. So there's nothing wrong with players on court, a captain, somebody pointing out a setter, back row setter, setter's live, setter's dead. Watch out for number 22, this, that, or the other. Those, loud exchanges are fine, but when a team decides they're going to try and cause a server at the moment of serve to mess up, that is just pure unsporting conduct. So let's all work together. Okay, officials will monitor. We'll do our best to warn everybody without giving cards. And I know it's going to take a week or two, just like last year, to settle out. Like I said, it doesn't matter if some players are giving verbal cues with regards to their offense or defense. And also, spectators, this has nothing to do with spectators and fans. They can continue to hoot, holler, and rant and chant as long as we all know it's not derogative, vulgar, and all the other bad things that go with it. Reminder on protocols: the state during 6-minute warm-ups, the off team should be at their bench. They can go to their locker, they can go out in a hall, or they can watch from the bench area, but should stay off the entire player's service. So you want to afford the opponent the entire playing service, including during serving. Now, if you want to exhibit some good sporting conduct in large gyms where the balls can roll 50, 60 feet away, you want to get some maybe JV players during varsity or varsity during JV, standing about 20 feet beyond the end lines to help out, to keep balls moving. That's great. That's nothing wrong with that. Okay. The state officials board is continuing with the policy of not participating in handshakes or fist bumps. So we will accept a nice smile and a hand wave to all your players as they go to shake their hands with or not to shake hands with the opponent coach. If players do go to shake hands with the opponent coach in front of the score table, just remember to remind them to come back to their court, not run into the opponent's court and come back under the net. That would be greatly appreciated. During timeouts, balls will stay on the service line once again, especially if there are no line judges, and go back to the score table. Coming out of club ball, does the full team goes down the sideline, or however they do it now? to greet each other once they beckon for teams to enter the court. But no, we still only do 6 plus libero. So if you've got 12 or 14 or 15 kids on the end line during a national anthem, just remember the non-starter should go back to the bench and your 6 plus libero should come down the sideline to greet across the net the opponent. Senior night games, we appreciate that. We accommodate you as much as possible, but please limit your theatrical productions, okay? Be respectful and mindful of that. We know you're trying to do something for your players, but keep it sweet, keep it short. And also with regards to flowers, that's great. Just remember, having a flower sitting in a bucket of water in front of the court is not a good thing. You will get water on the court, and then there will be a delay for a wipe up. Okay, so please be mindful of those things. Coaches' resources. You not only have a federation book, rules book. I hope you get one. I hope your AD provides you with one. You also have what Joe mentioned earlier. You have the sports packet, which is extremely important, especially when it comes to the postseason. And the back half of that is a coach's manual that I helped create, which is mirrored to an official's manual that I created for the CIAC NFHS specific rules that we have developed through the CIAC Girls Volleyball Committee. So if you can't find it in the rule book, you might find it in the sports packet, okay, on the website. And then if you can't get it there, then you may contact your assigner and or rules interpreter, or contact Joe Velarde. And that's all I have right now. I do have one other thing before we stop. I didn't have time to find the slide from 4 or 5 years ago. Several officials, I have a note here from last season. We've been seeing during warm-ups, players getting back into concussion situations during serve or hitting lines. So please remember not to put your players during warm-ups in potential concussion situations, like standing at the net with their heads to the back of the net when the other side is serving, which can go through the net and hit them. Then they turn around and go, "Why'd you hit me?" And they get hit again from the other side. Okay, so be mindful of that. The other thing is, when you are doing hitting lines, it's always safer to have all your hitting going in one direction and not dual hitting going across at the same time. And the other thing too is, if you have players standing in the middle of the court, especially JV or younger players trying to do that during varsity hitters who are crushing the ball, it'd be better to put those players on the perimeter of the court where the balls are being hit and not in the court, because all they have to do is turn their head for a moment and they can get whacked in the side of the face, and that's where your concussion comes from. So keep your kids on the perimeter court during serving. During hitting, you may want to put 2 or 3 kids along the net to keep balls from rolling under, to take out your potential hitters. You don't want to see that happen as well. So just remember, using 2 or 3 people in front of the net during hitting to prevent balls from causing an ankle or leg injury would be awesome. And that's it. Let me look in the chat quick here.
Yeah, Jim, 2 questions in the chat. Is there a copy of the roster sheet somewhere?
I can send it to Joe and he can send it out to you. Okay.
Okay.
And what I will also do is, the other thing too is, I may send out a copy of the Federation score sheet, and I'll send out 3 things to Joe just in case you have it. Scorebooks do not have to be Federation, but they should be very close to it. And there's still some schools using some scorebooks that don't look anything like it. I think there's 2 or 3 out there. But I will send out the roster lineup sheet and I'll send out a libero tracker sheet, and I'll send out a score sheet in case you need it. I'll give that to Joe.
Next question is, will this PowerPoint be available? So this video will be available online, but I guess this person is looking for the PowerPoint specifically.
The PowerPoint will be on the girls volleyball CIAC girls volleyball webpage at some point. That's correct, right, Joe?
Yep, you send it to me, we can put it up. Is there a rule about compression shorts?
You are compression shorts.
Yeah, that have a brand name on the waistband. Allowed or not allowed?
Brand names on the waistbands are allowed. That came in last year.
Compression sleeves allowed or trainer tape during the game?
Compression sleeves are allowed. So if you have a white jersey, short sleeve jersey, the sleeves do not have to be the same.
Okay, if there are any other questions, now is the time to post them. You can always email me and I can forward any questions to Jim that come up after this meeting. And again, this recording will be on the CIAC website. Usually takes us a couple days to get them up.
Yes, this PowerPoint recording will be probably on some point next week.
Trainer's tape on wrist allowed?
If there is a situation where a player has a sprained wrist or something, you can use tape or pre-wrap. Okay, tape and pre-wrap is acceptable. Okay, it's like if there's a jammed thumb, you pre-wrap it, loop around the thumb to keep the thumb strong. I've actually had that in my playing career. That's fine.
Okay, Jim, again, we appreciate all your effort in putting this presentation together. Folks, just want to wish everybody a great season. Hope you have all the success and enjoy working with your kids. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you soon.
Good luck, everybody.